India's UNSC ambitions have got a huge boost as Russia has again bagged New Delhi to get a permanent seat at the global high table and with it a veto-wielding authority. The UNSC has proved to be completely useless as it failed to impact or prevent wars from Ukraine to Gaza to Kashmir and now needs the voice and leadership of the world's largest democracy and the fourth biggest economy, India. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, while speaking at the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly, emphasized the need for reform in the UNSC to reflect the current global landscape. Lavrov stated Moscow supports the application of Brazil and India for permanent seats on the Council. In his UNGA remarks, Lavrov also underlined the importance of forums like the SCO and the BRICS in shaping collective positions of the global South. He said these groupings play a special role as mechanisms for coordinating the interests of the developing world, unquote. In another huge confirmation, preparations are underway for Russian President Vladimir Putin's much-awaited visit to India in December this year. Lavrov, during his speech, confirmed Putin's plans, highlighting the significant bilateral agenda that includes trade, military cooperation, technological exchange, finance, humanitarian efforts, healthcare, and advances in high-tech sectors such as artificial intelligence. He confirmed, quote, "In December, a visit from Mr. Putin is being planned to New Delhi." Moscow also asserted the economic partnership between India and Russia is not under threat amid the US tariffs with an aim to pressurize India into reducing Russian oil imports. The announcement of Putin's visit to New Delhi comes even as India faces steep 50% tariffs announced by US President Trump, half of which are punishment for India for buying Russian oil. Meanwhile, reports emerged that after the S-400 shot down 6 Pakistani combat jets in the recent war, now India is considering buying the improved S-500 air defense system from Russia, which can shoot down even hypersonic missiles and low-orbit satellites, but more on that later. The real question is, will India use Putin's visit to also seal an agreement on the Su-57 stealth fighter jets? Marking a seismic shift in South Asia's strategic air balance, reports suggest India is evaluating a bold step for an initial flyaway purchase of 36 to 40 Su-57 aircraft, forming about 2 frontline squadrons of this stealth fighter.
We can't give a running commentary on the procurement process, but yes, there are plans. And
if a mutually beneficial deal can be agreed, then the deal could be expanded to 120 to 140 jets or 6 to 7 squadrons to be made then in India. If the Su-57 production agreement works out, then the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited Nasik facility might potentially become the hub to make this Russian jet, as it already manufactures the Sukhoi 30 MKI for the Indian Air Force. Russia's offer of full technology transfer coupled with local manufacturing and the platform's integration with India's indigenous defense and weapon systems is enticing for India. New Delhi is also tilting towards Russia's Su-57 not only for its stealthy features but also for its long-range strike capabilities and its ability to carry heavier munitions and hypersonic missiles, especially after Operation Sindhu. One of the additions could be the R-37M air-to-air missile, which has a range exceeding 300 kilometers. This provides the IAF with unmatched beyond visual range capabilities in any future war with Pakistan. Both the Indian Air Force and the PAF are eager to improve current capabilities for the next war. While the Indian Air Force has signaled intent for 114 Rafale fighter jets and a few Su-57 squadrons, it's yet unclear what are Pakistan's plans, as the J-35 deal with China has not been officially confirmed yet. Now, the ongoing India-Russia negotiations are part of providing a temporary stopgap solution until the entry into service expected in 2035 of India's own stealth fighter jet, the ANCA. But before that, an S-500 air defense system deal could also be discussed during Putin's India visit. Now, even the S-400 was enough to keep Pakistan Air Force running for cover in the recent war, while the Indian Air Force smashed 11 Pakistani air bases with precision missile strikes, as confirmed by satellite images from international agencies.
Fighter aircraft are from S-400. We have at least 5 fighters confirmed killed.
A source confirmed to the print, quote, "The S-400 performed very well in Operation Sindoor and as a huge deterrence and punitive capability. Yes, we are looking at procuring more of the same, or the S-500, unquote. An advanced air defense system which represents a huge technological leap meant to protect from new high-speed threats from hypersonic missiles and satellites is a factor that has attracted India. The report suggesting Indian government's interest in buying the S-500 comes months after Russia made this huge ticket offer to India. In fact, Russian President Putin, during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Russia back in July 2024, had initially proposed joint manufacture of its latest S-500 air defense system. The prospect of India accepting the S-500 offer remains uncertain, but the Defense Ministry understands that the S-500 is a pivotal weapon system to have in the global arms race, particularly in the field of hypersonic missile defense. India is also looking to acquire additional units of the S-400 from Russia after its stellar performance in the dogfight with Pakistan in May this year. However, 2 regiments of the original S-400 deal have not been delivered yet. India will now receive the final 2 regiments of the S-400 Triumph air defense system from Russia in February and August 2026, completing the $5.4 billion deal signed way back in 2018. Strengthening of ties with Russia was even visible at the UN General Assembly, where India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar held a meeting with his counterparts from the BRICS nations. Now, this must have irked the White House, which has been urging India to distance itself from the BRICS. Jaishankar said in a social media post, "When multilateralism is under stress, BRICS has stood firm as a strong voice of reason and constructive change. As rising protectionism, tariff volatility, and non-tariff barriers impact trade flows, BRICS must defend the multilateral trading system," unquote. The Modi government's message to White House seems to be loud and clear. While India seeks a mutually beneficial partnership with the United States, New Delhi won't be bullied over its foreign policy by hypocritical tariffs. India will also not abandon its time-tested friends and legal energy imports under the threat of US sanctions. But what do you believe? Has Russia proven itself as a reliable defense ally of India? India received its 4th GE engine from the United States on the 30th of September 2025. The engine is part of the defense deal signed between both the countries back in 2021. The $716 million agreement signed included the supply of 99 such engines from US firm GE Aerospace for the Light Combat Aircraft or LCA Tejas Mark 1A fighter jets that are soon to be inducted into the Indian Air Force. The first scheduled flight of the IAF Tejas Mark 1A is scheduled for October 2025, and the HAL is expected to receive a total of 12 engines by the end of the current financial year. As the deadline to bid for the partnership with the DRDO in the AMCA project comes to an end on the 30th of September, leading Indian defense firms including Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, Larsen & Toubro or L&T, in collaboration with Bharat Electronics Limited and Bharat Earth Movers Limited, have submitted their interest. AMCA is an ambitious project of India under the Modi government's leadership, where India is developing its own 5th-generation stealth fighter jet with a budget of 15,000 crore rupees for its development. Besides HAL, L&T, BEL and BEML, other major players who are actively tracking the development of the program are Tata Advanced Systems and Adani Defense. Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.